Hello, this is Bill Harvell, fellow dying inmate in the mental asylum that is our world. We pray that this presentation helps mature and deepen our journey in the faith. Bible Alive, the Gospel according to John, Jesus' second self-disclosure. The following presentation would be impossible without these resources and these resources. John chapter 4, verse 39 through 42. Many Samaritans from that town believed into him because of the word of the woman's testimony. He told me everything I have ever done. So when the Samaritans came to him, they asked him to stay with them, and he stayed there for 2 days. And many more believed into him because of his word. They said to the woman, "It is no longer because of your words that we believe, for we have heard for ourselves, and we know that this is indeed hosoter to cosmo." After the 2 days, he went from that place to Galilee. For Jesus himself testified that a prophet has no honor in his own country. So when he came to Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him, having seen all that he had done in Jerusalem at the feast, for they too had gone to the feast. So he came again to Cana in Galilee, where he had made the water wine. And at Capernaum there was a royal whose son was ill. When he heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went and begged him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Therefore Jesus said to him, "Unless you people see signs and wonders, you will not believe." The royal said to him, "Sir, come down before my little boy dies." Jesus said to him, "Go, your son is living." The man believed what Jesus spoke to him and went his way. As he was going down, his slaves met him and told him that his boy was living. So he asked them the hour when he began to recover, and they said to him, "Yesterday, at the 7th hour, 1 o'clock, the fever left him." The father knew that was the hour when Jesus said to him, "Your son is living," and he himself believed, along with his whole household. This was now the second sign that Jesus did, after coming from Judea to Galilee. Again, we have reached a point of transfer, a point of conclusion, and an entry point into a new section in the Gospel according to John. We'll briefly review now an outline of the Gospel according to John so we can see where this story is situated. You can break the Gospel of John down into 5 main parts. The prologue is the first 18 verses. Everything the author John wants to tell us is included there. And everything that follows is just a rehash of that, pretty much. No new information is provided. Just continual explorations of the themes already introduced in the first 18 verses, this section 1, the prologue. Section 2 is where we find today's story, the Book of Signs, and it's where we're going to be in through a lot of this year in the Gospel of John. What's highlighted in red, from Cana to Cana, John chapter 2, verse 1 to chapter 4, verse 54, is a section we've just concluded, and we're concluding today. It is really, should be called From Galilee to Jerusalem, back to Galilee. Jesus begins bringing life back to Israel. The third section is the Book of Glory, which deals with the final dinner with his disciples, the passion account, and the resurrection account, post-resurrection appearances. Then there's an epilogue that is introduced, which happened, it was an addition to the text that happened when the community that wrote this text was undergoing some problems. And the author of that section is concerned with the survival of the group. So chapter 21 was written. And finally, there is a later insertion that we will deal with last in these studies, which is a story that really is alien to the Gospel of John. It's theology, it's language, but it was too good to pass up. They had to put it somewhere. So somebody, probably in the 2nd century, shoehorned it into the text. The story of the woman caught in adultery. We'll come back to this at the end of today's class. The story of John chapter 4, verse 43 to 54 unfolds in the following way. In verses 43 through 46, we have the introduction of the characters, Jesus, the royal, and others, the sick son. In verses 47 through 53, Jesus and the royal are at Cana together in Galilee. The royal approaches Jesus because of what he's heard from the Galileans. The perseverance of the royal when Jesus rebukes him, "Please, sir," respectfully, "come down because my son is dying." Jesus' word of positive response. And the royal believes in the word of Jesus. And the result of the royal's belief is that his son lives. And he knows, and his household comes to believe. Finally, we have a conclusion to chapter 4, verse 46 to 54, and the Cana to Cana section, the from Galilee to Jerusalem, back to Galilee section, John chapter 2, verse 1, the wedding at Cana, all the way to this second sign at Cana, in John, which ends with John chapter 4, verse 54. Hey, thanks for watching. Just continue the playlist for the next part of the study. If you have further questions, this is good. They will get addressed, so keep watching. If you found value, please subscribe, like, and share. As always, questions, comments, and criticisms are most welcome. God bless you.